On this panel, let's talk about working with stencils. So stencils make it really nice if you've got some complex, multicolor designs, but you've got to be careful when you're applying them and when you're taking them off. If you go back to the other webinars, you would see that we actually tore one of these pieces when we were putting it down. And then when we were taking it off, especially on a design like this where you've got so many detailed areas, some really sharp points, a lot of corners, we ended up tearing this corner off. We tore this corner off. We had a repair right here and another one down here. So just take your time, apply the stencil carefully, remove it carefully so that you don't cause yourself too many repairs like that. And as those things happened, then you got to decide and kind of know where you're at in the process, what's coming next. Is this going to be covered up by the next color? Then we might not have to worry about it. Or let's not create more work for ourselves now. Again, if we touch it now and something else screws it up later, then we're going to have to come back to it again. So sometimes it's best just to leave things until the end. The other big thing we talked about with this is a lot of time on stencils, you're going to have what we call a bleed. So, first we put down the white, and then the white is, under the gray a little bit. The gray overlaps onto the white. But you have this shoulder, so you've got the white down, then you put the gray on top of it, but right here is a shoulder where then the gray drops down, and we've got this shoulder of white. And what we recommend is you might go back and sand those down with, 150 or 180 grit, just so you don't have such a sharp angle where that's dropping off, and take great care if and when you are abrading these before you're putting the finish on, or if you're abrading between coats of paint. Because if you leave that hard shoulder there and you touch it just a little bit, more than likely you're going to sand that off, you're going to expose that shoulder, and now you're going to have some repairs to do before you go on to either the next color or you put finish on top. And then the last thing is, as you might be able to see here, is we missed taking a part of the stencil off. So this should also be gray, but once we got the white down, we put that down, and we missed taking this off. So instead of it being gray, it's still white, and it's really white because we left it there through everything. When we abraded this, we abraded some blue and gray into our white here. It discolored it just a little bit. So when we remove that stencil piece, it's really bright white now. So I hope those things help you a little bit working with stencils, whether they're a smaller base stencil like this or a big 20 by 20 foot stencil on a gym job. Is be careful, especially with detailed areas, thin areas, sharp corners, applying stencils, taking them off. Think about how you're going to take care of any possible shoulder issues or bleed under areas, just so you make sure that those don't show up during abrasion. And sometimes you got to kind of feel around, look at it from different angles, just to make sure you get all of your stencil material removed. But if you do that, you should come out with a great looking stencil, really nice design for your customer.